spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints you rock. We earn 30 years, so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground. Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. Relieving the
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the New Orleans Saints. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Here we go.
On first down, it's Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Let's get that ball here. Let's get that ball right here.
Watson with a give to Miller. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Right there, 54 Mike.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a 1st down.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Deontay Harris deep for New Orleans. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. I want to revisit New Orleans' season here, Charles, as they come back out for this next drive, because really, although it was 13-3 and another playoff appearance, it was another disappointing playoff loss. That's 3 straight crushing playoff defeats. Minneapolis Miracle with Diggs' catch, the Nickel Roby-Coleman no call, and now this last loss that they had to the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, and I thought that this would be the year for them, precisely from what you said. Minneapolis Miracle. Then you get the no call, as you said, Nickel Roby-Coleman. I thought 3, right? Everything comes in 3s, so I thought the 3rd time would be the charm. They'd find their way to advance. Instead, Minnesota comes to their place, beats them. And going back to what you 13-3, and you have to play in the 1st round because they lost to San Francisco in a head-to-head game. San Francisco gets one of those byes, as did Green Bay. And New Orleans had to play on the opening weekend.
Although New Orleans doesn't care about this, kind of developing a nice little rivalry between the Saints and the Vikings, right?
No doubt about it, and crazy plays down the stretch have defined this rivalry. And unfortunately for New Orleans, Minnesota getting the better of those plays.
Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A big play. Breeze finding Thomas. 54 yards. A one-handed catch, that's one thing, but with a defender right there, that was a heck of a play.
It used to be that one-handed catch was instinctive in a game. Now it's a practiced move. They work on it before, after, during practice sessions. It becomes part of their repertoire.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Zach Cunningham rolling in to get the sack.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, 1st down, run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on 2nd down.
It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Now Breeze. Yeah, he's got it. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. From 8 yards out, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop, but when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Out of the gun, Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 8 yards, first down as they're able to convert. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. And running with power here. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Texans, nothing.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Football going back to the Houston Texans. Got another AFC South title this year. Their 4th in 5 seasons. No early exit in the playoffs. They came back to beat Buffalo in OT in the wild card round. Then that stunning 24-0 lead against Kansas City in KC. And you have to imagine they're going to be seeing Patrick Mahomes in their dreams all offseason. Probably a lot of nightmares.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt. Kind of reminds you of a Metallica song, doesn't it? Right? I mean, with those kind of nightmares, you don't want to go to sleep. But I go back to something you mentioned earlier. Another AFC South title. Their 4th in 5 years. That's a lot of success that I don't think they get credit for because they haven't had that super deep run in the playoffs. They got to, what, the divisional round this year? In Kansas City with a chance to go to the AFC title game with 24-0 lead. If that happens, I think we look back at this Houston franchise in a little bit different light instead of kind of short shrift. Hey, 4 titles in 5 years in the division, but what do they have to show for it? That's the tough part for Houston.
Me and you all day. I'm coming after you. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up. Where's that? 19. 47. I got you. 47's the mic.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Watson setting up the screen for Miller. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
54 Mike. Watch the run.
Watson on 1st down. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
Now Watson's throw is taken in by QT. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident and keep flinging it. I'll just figure there's something wrong with the football.
Watson on target here to Fuller. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Watson now 5 for 5 on the drive. He's responded after the interception. It's 1st and 10. To the air yet again, Watson. He's got Fuller. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Watson. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's 2nd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. From 17 yards out as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach. He said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Well, this is a catch by Ted Ginn. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. And now it's second down. Well, partner, let's put a bow on the Super Bowl for Kansas City. What a comeback win. Yet another come-from-behind victory for Patrick Mahomes and company. An absolute heartbreak for San Francisco.
Didn't Madden predict Kansas City would win the game?
Yes, 35-31, I believe they predicted.
I felt like most of the predictions I saw had the game in the 30s, so a little bit lower scoring than we expected, but a lot of fireworks down the stretch, all by Kansas City. But how about San Francisco? Had the lead in the ball, under 12 minutes to go, and held Kansas City to 10 points through 3 quarters. And somehow they're winging their way back to San Francisco, trying to understand how they lost that game.
Yeah, not only did Kansas City win it, but they end up winning it by 11 points. I mean, they didn't see that coming at all. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. DeAndre Carter's deep for the Texans. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Let's go, D.
They begin with a run by Miller. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, 60 yards. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Lutz with the extra point, and it's now 21-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down. With that incompletion, a chance to mention the awards. Now with the season over, Lamar Jackson, as we speculated, he's the MVP, Coach of the Year. John Harbaugh, Lamar's coach. Michael Thomas, Stephon Gilmore, Offensive and Defensive Players of the Year. Offensive and Defensive Rookies of the Year. That went to Kyler Murray and Nick Bosa. And the Comeback Player of the Year, Charles, Ryan Tannehill. No surprise there.
Not to mention the #1 award that the NFL gives out, the one that they give the most, that credence isn't the right word, the most attention to, and the one that they want trumpeted the most. That's the Walter Payton Man of the Year, because that represents the totality of a player in the NFL, not just what they do on the field, but off the field as well. And that goes to Calais Campbell, the defensive tackle for the Jacksonville Jaguars. What a great award. Congratulations, Calais.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. He can run for it, and he will. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. He'll grab 3 yards on the play, taking it himself for the first down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Watson going to give this one to Miller. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Carlos Hyde in the game. And an alley to run. The 20. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Carlos Hyde, 46 yards, as his guys are back within a single score. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
With the score, Saints 21, Texans 14.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And he finds Cook. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And that goes as a gain of 37 on 3rd down.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On 2nd and 11 now. Breeze. And this is Cook with a grab. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Shotgun now for Breeze. The open man is Smith. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. From the gun, it's Breeze. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Breeze to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Deshaun Watson in the offense. Down by 2 touchdowns. 1:47 on the clock. Field goals, useless at this point. They need 2 touchdowns, and they need them in short order. On 1st and 10, Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Watson now to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Here's Watson. Finding fouls complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Now it's Watson. And the catch made by Hopkins. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Now a 1st down throw. Watson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
It's hurry-up mode time for the Texans, hustling up to the line. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A gain there of 30 big ones.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route, well run, and the football, right on the money.
And he'll find Akins there, complete. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Watson. It's complete. It's Miller. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So give him the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. A shotgun snap for Watson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Down here's 2nd and goal. Again, it's Watson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. It's A.J. Klein, the linebacker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Again, it's Kamara. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left.
Yellow lady, yellow lady.
On third down, here's Kamara. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
It's easy work, and it's coming again.
So this one, a victory here for New Orleans, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominating.